For many years, Earth stayed quiet. The people of Earth looked up at the stars. But they did not send warships. They did not shout into space. They listened, they watched, and they prepared. Far across the stars, powerful alien races ruled the galaxy. There were great councils, large fleets, and strong empires. Some were kind, others were cruel. But none of them thought Earth was important. To them, humans were slow, simple, and behind in science. They did not fear Earth. They did not even care. But Earth had changed. In secret, far from alien eyes, humans had built something new. It was not a fleet. It was not a laser. It was not a missile. It was something far older. Yet something no alien had ever imagined. It was a weapon of metal and magnet, of speed and silence. It was a railgun. Inside a hidden base deep under Mars' surface, a team worked in silence. They did not use alien tech. They used human minds, human tools, and human will. The air smelled of dust and oil. The walls shook from quiet tests. Deep underground, the weapon waited. Its name was Storm Pirce. It looked like a long black arrow, made of hard steel and sharp edges. It did not glow. It did not hum. It was still, waiting. At the command deck stood Captain Tomas, a quiet man with sharp eyes. He was not loud, but when he spoke, his crew listened. He had seen many things in his life. He had seen war. He had seen peace. But this was something new. Next to him stood Neela, the engineer. She had helped design the railgun from the start. Her hands were always busy. She believed in numbers, wires, and facts. But even she felt a strange chill as she looked at the weapon. Behind them stood Rafi, the youngest crew member. He was only 20. He had never left the solar system. But he had trained for this. He believed in Earth. He believed in the mission. The crew was small, only 20 people. Each one had been tested. Each one had passed. They were not here to fight a war. They were here to show what Earth had built. Final check complete, Neela said. Power stable. Target set. Good, Tomas said. He looked at the screen. A small asteroid floated near Jupiter. It was the target. No one else in the galaxy knew what was about to happen. Ready to fire, Neela said. Tomas gave a slow nod. Fire! The railgun made no sound. There was no flash, no blast, just a sudden push of energy. A metal rod, no longer than a car, left the barrel. It moved faster than anything ever built by humans. Across space in seconds. On the screen, the asteroid vanished. A hole appeared, then light, then dust. The asteroid was gone. Rafi blinked. Is that it? That's it, Neela said. It worked, Tomas said, calm as ever. Back on Earth. Deep in a hidden control room, the leaders of Earth watched the same screen. There was silence, then slow claps, then quiet cheers. But they did not send messages to the stars. They did not speak to the Galactic Union. They stayed quiet. Let the galaxy wonder. Let the stars whisper. Let them guess. A week later, far from human space, a small alien raiding ship crossed into the edge of the solar system. It belonged to the Dranic, a pirate race. They had heard rumors about Earth. Weak planet, easy prey. No strong ships, no strong weapons. The Dranic captain smiled as he looked at Earth's pale blue dot, prepared to scan the outer stations. We will take what we want. But he never got the chance. The Storm Piercer moved without warning. Its engines were cold and quiet. It flew fast, with no signal. It came close and stopped. The alien ship did not see it coming. Another shot, another rod. The railgun fired. One blink later, the alien ship was gone. Not broken, not damaged, just gone. Turned to fire and dust. Across the stars, a listening post. Caught the signal, then another, and another. Alien captains read the report. Leaders of distant empires stared at the numbers. A new power had spoken. One shot, one kill. No warning. They looked at the map. They looked at the planet called Earth. The silence was broken. In the halls of the Galactic Union, the news spread fast. Words like impossible and unseen filled the air. High Speaker Thune, leader of the council, called for a meeting. He was tall, with silver skin and deep red eyes. His people had ruled for centuries. "What is this?" he asked, holding the report in his long fingers. "How did Earth destroy a ship in one shot?" "Unknown," said one advisor. "They used some kind of mass driver." "A railgun?" "A what?" Thune asked. "Primitive tech, but they made it powerful." The room was silent. "Should we speak to them?" someone asked. "No," Thune said. "We watch, we listen. We do not act yet." But others did not wait. Small alien ships crept toward Earth. Spies came to learn. Traders came to ask questions. But Earth said little. Tomas and the Storm Piercer returned to orbit. They floated above the clouds, quiet as a shadow. Neela worked on upgrades. She smiled as she tested new coils and magnets. Rafi trained with the others. He watched the stars every night. Tomas sat in his chair, hands folded, eyes on the dark space beyond. He knew what was coming. The galaxy had felt the first tremble, and it would not be the last. The galaxy was waking up. Whispers moved through the space lanes. They came from trade ships, scouts, and deep space beacons. One human ship had destroyed a pirate vessel with a single shot. No warning, no sound, just one strike. Then silence again. The news confused many. Some laughed, others grew worried. Some said it was a lucky hit. Others said Earth had found lost alien tech. But in the shadows of the galaxy, smarter leaders started to worry. If Earth had really built a new kind of weapon, then everything had changed. Still, no one made a move. Most waited. Most watched. Then it happened again. A second alien ship entered human space. It was a scout ship from the Zolari Combine. The Zolari were known for their sleek ships and sharp minds. They believed in testing new races. They liked showing power. The scout captain was called Torvin. He had silver skin and eyes like glass. He sat in his command chair, looking at the blue planet below. "This is the edge of their system," said his second. "They have a few satellites, some stations. No warships." "Perfect," Torvin said. "We will scan their systems, take a few readings, maybe send a warning shot. Let them know who we are." The crew laughed. They never saw the Storm Piercer. The human Railgun ship had no glowing lights, no loud signal. It moved like a shadow between moons. Its hull was cold. Its engines were silent. But its Railgun was ready. Inside, Captain Tomas watched the Zolari ship on the screen. Neela stood beside him, checking numbers. Rafi waited near the defense console. "They are scanning our outposts," Neela said. "Do they see us?" Tomas asked. "No, not yet." "Then let's say hello." Tomas gave the order. Neela pressed the command. The railgun fired. The metal rod flew faster than any missile. It passed through the Zolari ship like a knife through paper. One moment the ship was whole. The next, it broke apart. No fire, no fight, just gone. On the ground, a few human stations picked up the flash. Some miners saw a bright dot in the sky. Then it faded. Back in orbit, the Storm Piercer turned and drifted away. Inside the ship, Rafi looked at the screen. Second strike confirmed. No survivors. Tomas gave a short nod. That will be enough for now. But it was not just Earth. That saw the result. Far away, in the central data center of the Galactic Union, silent alarms rang. The loss of a Zolari scout was serious. The ship had sent a last signal. Just one line. "They are not what we thought." The message reached High Speaker Thune within hours. He read it twice. Then he sat back in his chair. "Call the council," he said. On the capital world, the leaders of many alien races gathered. The council hall was large, with glowing lights and soft music, but this time the room felt cold. "They destroyed another ship," said one voice. "With no warning," said another. "With one shot," added a third. Thune stood slowly. "This is not random. This is not luck. Earth is power." Some leaders wanted war. Others wanted peace. Some said Earth should be invited to join the Union. Some said Earth should be watched closely. But Thune had his own plan. "We will send a team," he said. "They will learn more. Not spies. Not warriors. Just watchers." The vote passed. A small team of alien visitors would travel to Earth. They would come as guests, but Thune also sent a secret order. If they see anything dangerous, report at once. If they are harmed, we strike. Back on Earth, the storm piercer had returned to orbit. It floated near the moon, almost invisible to common sensors. From Earth, it looked like a moving star. Inside the ship, Neela worked on the railgun coils. She tested each wire, each bolt. She said nothing, but her mind raced with ideas. She wanted to make the weapon even faster, even cleaner. No waste, no delay. Rafi trained in the lower deck. He ran drills with other crew members. They moved like one body. Sharp and fast. Tomas sat in the command room, reading the reports. 2 shots to destroyed ships. No warning given, no threats sent. They were not starting a war, but they were sending a message. Earth was no longer weak. Earth was not a soft planet. At the edge of space. Earth had teeth. A message came in from Earth Command. Tomas opened it. A voice spoke. Alien visitors are coming. Official guests. No action to be taken unless needed. Let them see what we allow. Tomas understood. Show strength, but stay calm. Let the galaxy watch. A week later, the alien team arrived. 3 ships. No weapons, only scientists and diplomats. They were from different races, each one curious, each one cautious. Tomas met them in orbit. They did not see the storm piercer at first. The railgun ship only revealed itself when the alien ships were close. The alien guests were surprised. The ship had no gold, no light, no flags. It was black and sharp, like a blade. It made them feel small. They were welcomed aboard. Neela gave them a short tour. She showed the power core, the control room, but not the railgun chamber. That part stayed locked. Rafi watched their every move, quiet, still, but ready. One alien scientist named Voro tried to ask about the weapon. How does it work? He asked Neela. Neela smiled. With purpose. That was all she said. The alien stayed to days. Then they left. They sent the report to the Union. Earth is dangerous, but not cruel. They wait, they watch, and they prepare. We must treat them with care. Across the stars, the message spread. Earth had fired twice. Earth had killed twice. But Earth had not spoken once. The silence made it worse. The galaxy trembled, and the storm piercer waited. The council chamber on the capital world was quiet. Many seats were full. Leaders from every major alien race had gathered. They all wanted answers. They all wanted to speak, but no one wanted to speak first. High Speaker Thune stood at the center. His tall form was calm, but his eyes were sharp. He looked at the report in his hands again. To destroyed ships, both lost in human space, both gone in one shot. This is not a small matter, Thune said. Earth is power. It is not guessing. It is not afraid. It is ready. Some council members looked uneasy. Others looked angry. A short, green-skinned leader named Marnik spoke. They are using old tech, a simple railgun. We used those long ago. Why should we fear it? Thune turned to him. Old tech, yes, but they made it work in a way no one else has. They built it with care, with control, with purpose. A soft voice came from the side. It was lyric. A scientist from the peaceful Velari people. The second alien ship was not a threat. It only scanned their systems, but Earth still fired. That means something. They want to show power, said a voice behind her. Or maybe they want to be left alone, Lyric said. The room filled with voices. Some wanted to act. Some wanted peace. Some wanted to study humans. Others wanted to destroy their weapon before it was too late. Thune raised his hand, and the room went silent again. Earth is still quiet, he said. They do not speak. They do not send messages. They do not explain. That is what makes them dangerous. He looked around the chamber. I will send a second team, he said. Not just diplomats. This time, we send watchers. They will not ask questions. They will only observe. Spies, someone whispered. Thune ignored the word. We must know how many of these weapons they have. We must learn how they move, how they think. The vote passed. The watchers would go. But the Union was not the only one making plans. Back on Earth, the storm piercer floated high above the planet, near the moon. Its outer shell reflected no light. It moved slowly, but its systems were always awake, inside. Captain Tomas stood at the observation deck. He looked out at the stars. His face was calm, but his mind was sharp. Neela worked below deck, checking the cooling lines of the railgun. She spoke softly to her tools. She always worked alone, but she never made mistakes. Rafi was on the training floor, running through defense drills with other crew members. His steps were fast. His eyes were focused. A message came through the command screen. A known signal. Near Neptune. Maybe a hidden scan. Tomas looked at the data. The signal was weak, but strange. Not from Earth, not from Union ships. It was coming from something small and quiet. Send drone sweep, he said. 2 small drones launched from the storm piercer. They were fast and silent. Within minutes, they reached the area near Neptune's rings. They found it, a small black device, no bigger than a suitcase, hidden inside a drifting rock. It was scanning Earth's system, sending data to somewhere far away. Neela looked at the screen. They're trying to learn how far we can see. Tomas nodded. Let's show them. He gave the command. The railgun charged, but not to full power. A low shot was enough. The rod was fired at the drifting rock. The strike was clean. The signal stopped. No message was sent from Earth. No answer to the Union. Only silence again. Far away, high speaker Thune got the result. The device was gone. He sighed. They found it fast. Faster than we expected. Lyric looked at him. Maybe it's time to speak with them. Not send watchers. Just send words. Thune shook his head. Not yet, but he sent another message. This one to a commander. Prepare a ship, a warship. Do not attack. Just get close. See how they respond when they are not alone. 3 days later, a Union ship entered the outer edge of Earth's system. It was called the Terran. It was a heavy cruiser with 10 defense pods and a strong energy shield. It flew slow and showed no weapons. Inside the storm piercer, the sensors picked up the ship at once. They are not hiding, Rafi said. They want us to know they're here. Neela said. Tomas said nothing. He watched the path of the alien ship. Let them come closer, he said. The Terran moved toward Mars orbit. It kept sending peaceful signals, but the storm piercer stayed silent. Then something unexpected happened. A small object broke off from the Terran. It was a probe. It flew fast toward the dark side of Earth's moon. Neela narrowed her eyes. It's trying to map our power network. Take it down, Tomas said. A second shot was fired. The probe vanished. The Terran stopped moving. For 1 full hour, it stayed still. Then it turned and began to leave. No words were spoken. No battle took place. But the message was clear. Earth saw everything. And Earth had no fear. The news reached the Galactic Union the next day. Some were shocked. Others were impressed. Thune read the new report. 1 ship, 1 railgun, still enough to control the system. He sat in silence. Then he spoke. We need to decide. Is Earth a threat or a shield? Are they a danger to peace or protectors of their own kind? No one had an answer. But the galaxy now knew one thing. The silence from Earth was not weakness. It was warning, and the warning had been heard. The capital world of the Galactic Union was peaceful as always. Birds flew over green towers. Lights blinked above the tall buildings. Ships came and went from the sky docks like silent stars. But inside the great council hall, the air felt heavy. High Speaker Thune stood at the center of the room. His red cloak flowed behind him as he looked at the many council members gathered. Each member came from a different world. Each one spoke for a race. Some looked calm. Some looked nervous. Some were angry. Thune lifted a thin data pad and read aloud. Second alien ship destroyed. No warning. No call. 1 hit from Earth. Weapons still unknown in full detail. He placed the data pad on the table. We can no longer call this a small problem. Earth may be a greater force than we thought. A short alien with golden eyes named Dren, leader of the Mechari race, stood up. They destroyed 2 ships. That is not the action of a peaceful race. We should send a fleet. Others shook their heads. No, said Lyric, the Velari scientist. Earth is not invading. Earth is only answering. Both ships entered their space. They did not fire first, but their silence is dangerous, said Varen, a tall, thin leader from the Draxer worlds. They did not talk. They did not warn. What kind of people do this? Thune raised his hand and the room became quiet again. I send observers. They were not harmed, but Earth would not speak about their weapon. They only showed what they wanted us to see, and now we know they are watching everything. He turned to the council. We need more. We must understand how far their weapon can reach. How many they have. If we are blind, we cannot act. A vote was called. After a long moment, it passed. A new plan was made. Small spy probes would be sent into the edges of Earth's system. Not ships, not people, just eyes, small machines to watch. Thune gave the final order. Learn all we can, and do not get caught far away. The storm piercer floated above Earth. Its dark body made no sound. Its engines rested. But inside, the crew was busy. Tomas stood in the control room. He watched quiet data move across the screen. Neela sat nearby, checking a long row of numbers. Rafi trained in the lower deck, running fast across metal floors with other soldiers. A new signal flashed. Captain, said Neela. Something is near Neptune. Very small. Almost hidden. Tomas walked over and looked at the scan. Not ours. No. It's a deep scanner. They are watching us. Send the drones, he said. Two small drones left the storm piercer. They flew fast and silent through space. They reached Neptune in minutes. The probe was hidden inside a floating ice rock. It was cold, black, and almost invisible. But the human drones found it anyway. Neela looked at the report. It's mapping our energy fields, trying to find how far our weapon reaches. Tomas gave a short nod. Take it out. Neela typed a command. The railgun fired a short-range round. No sound, no light. The ice rock and the probe inside vanished. Rafi looked up from the lower deck. That's 3 times now. Yes, Tomas said, and it won't be the last. On the capital world, Thune stood again with the council. He read the report from the lost probe. They destroyed it within 7 minutes, he said. Many council members looked shocked. One said, even we can't find probes that fast. They are watching more than we thought. Another whispered Thune. Step back. Earth is awake. They know we are here. They understand what we are doing. But they are still not speaking. Lyric stood. Her soft voice filled the room. They may be testing us, just like we are testing them. I agree, Thune said. But we cannot keep guessing. It is time to send a real ship, not a warship. Just something to measure their answer. A new plan was made. 3 days later, a cruiser from the Galactic Union entered human space. Its name was Luris. It flew slow and sent a signal of peace. It did not carry weapons in view. Only scanners and communication tools inside the storm piercer. The crew saw the ship as soon as it crossed into the system. Tomas watched the movement. They are not hiding. They want to be seen, said Neela. Rafi looked at the screen. Should we speak to them? Tomas shook his head. Not yet. The storm piercer stayed hidden behind the moon. Its hull remained cold and dark. It watched the Luris move slowly toward Mars. Then the Luris launched a small drone. It moved in a curve, heading near the far side of Earth. It was trying to scan the storm piercer's heat and magnetic trail. They're searching for us, Neela said. Then show them we are watching, Tomas said. A low-power railgun shot was fired. The drone vanished in space. No explosion, no trail, just gone. The Luris stopped moving. For 1 hour, it floated without action. Then it turned and began to leave human space, still. Earth said nothing. The message reached Thune the next day. They found and destroyed the drone. The report said, no shots toward the ship, but no message either. Thune sat in silence. They are careful. Lyric said, they do not want war, but they do not want visitors. Varen shook his head. This is not balance. This is control. They decide what we can do. They decide when to speak Thune looked around the council hall. We must decide. He said, what is Earth now? A threat, a shield, a wall we cannot pass? No one answered. The room stayed still. But the truth was clear. The galaxy had always believed silence was weakness. Now it was learning something new. Earth's silence was strength. High Speaker Thune stood on the balcony of the Union Tower. He looked out at the golden clouds, floating above the capital city. Below, traffic lights moved slowly in the sky. The world looked calm, but his thoughts were not. Behind him, the council guards waited. A soft breeze passed over the balcony. But Thune did not move. He had seen many rising powers in the past. Some came with fire, others came with trade. But Earth was something new. They rose in silence. They did not send messages. They did not show their full strength. And they destroyed anything that came too close. A voice behind him spoke. High Speaker, the War Council is ready. Thune gave a small nod. He turned and walked back into the tall hall where the War Council had gathered. 13 members stood round the circular table. They were from different races, each one trusted by their people. None of them looked relaxed. Thune began to speak. Earth has made its position clear. They do not attack without reason, but they do not allow weakness. Either, we have sent ships, drones, and observers. Each one was blocked or destroyed. Earth has not spoken, but their message is strong. One of the generals stepped forward. It was Commander Vexal, leader of the Union's silent fleet. His skin was dark blue, and a long scar ran across his jaw. Let me take a fleet to the edge of their system, he said. Not to fight, only to watch. They may speak if they feel the pressure. Thune looked at the other members. Some nodded, some did not. This mission will be watched closely. Thune said, do not fire unless fired upon. Show strength, not war. I understand, Vexal said. He turned and left the chamber. His ship, the Skyfang, was already waiting, back in Earth's orbit. The storm piercer circled in silence. Its surface was smooth and black. Its weapons were ready but hidden inside. Captain Tomas sat at the main chair. Neela worked at the engineering console, and Rafi stood near the tactical screen. A soft alert sounded. A known signal near Jupiter, said Neela. Tomas looked at the screen. Not another probe. No, this is larger. A cruiser. Maybe more. Within minutes, more ships appeared. 8 ships, Rafi said. Cruisers and scouts. Not an attack formation, but very close. They are watching us, Tomas said. He stood slowly. Time to remind them that we are watching too. The storm piercer moved from the far side of the moon. It passed through Earth's shadow and flew toward deep space. The alien ships picked up its signal and stopped. Commander Vexal stood on the bridge of the Skyfang. He looked at the screen as the human ship came into view. It looks like a blade, one of his officers said. Vexal did not answer. He stared at the storm piercer. No bright engines, no open ports. But it's not hiding, he said. Should we hail them? No. He said, let's see what they do. The storm piercer came to a stop a short distance from the fleet. Inside. Neela watched the power levels. Rafi kept his eyes on the defense screen. Tomas stood at the window, his hands behind his back. They are not running. They are not scanning. Tomas said, but they are too close. What should we do? Asked Neela. Tomas thought for a moment. Then he gave a calm order. Charge the railgun to half power. Lock aim on the asteroid behind the fleet. Fire a warning shot. Neela's fingers moved across the screen. The railgun charged. There was no sound. No shaking. Just numbers rising. A metal rod launched from the barrel. It passed through space in a straight line, fast and sharp. It struck the asteroid behind the Union ships. The rock broke apart. Dust spread in silence. On the Skyfang, alarms rang. They fired, shouted one officer. But not at us, said another. Vexal stood still. They missed us on purpose, he said. That was a warning. His hands tightened behind his back. They wanted us to see what that weapon can do. On the storm piercer, Tomas gave the next order. Send a message. One line. Rafi nodded. The The screen lit up. He read the words aloud before sending. "We are not your enemy, but we are not your subject." The message was sent to the lead Union ship. Then the storm piercer turned and returned to Earth orbit. The Union fleet stayed in place for 1 more hour. Then Vexal gave the order to leave. Back on the capital world, Thune watched the replay of the event. He read the short message sent by Earth. He stood up and walked to the large window. "They did not attack," he said, "but they did not bow either." Lyric stepped beside him. "They are not like other races," she said. "No," Thune replied. "They are something else, something we may never fully control." "What now?" asked Lyric. Thune looked out into the stars. "Now we stop pushing. Let them come to us if they wish. But we do not test them again." He turned back toward the council chamber. "And if they do come, we must be ready to listen, not command." Far above Earth, the storm piercer floated once again in silence. Inside, the crew rested. Neela cleaned her tools in the engine room. Rafi trained with 2 others in the lower hall. Tomas sat alone in the command chair, watching the stars. He remembered the line they had sent. He knew it was only the beginning. Earth had stepped into the light, and the galaxy now knew. This world was not weak. This world had built power in silence, and that silence had spoken. The red border was a place no one liked to visit. It was a vast area near the edge of human space. The sky there was filled with violent iron storms. Lightning flashed in strange colors. Space signals twisted and broke. Many ships had been lost. There over the years, it was a dangerous place. But the Galactic Union fleet had a plan. Commander Vexal believed they could catch the storm piercer in a trap near the red border. If they could destroy Earth's Railgun ship here, the galaxy would feel safe again. 8 ships waited in the shadows of the storms, cruisers, fighters, and stealth scouts hid behind giant rocks and swirling clouds. Their engines were silent. Their weapons were ready. Inside the storm piercer, Captain Tomas was calm. He had received a strange message hours before. "We know where you are going," it said. Tomas looked at the stars outside the ship. The path to the red border was risky. But they needed to test the railgun again, and they needed to prove that Earth would not run. Neela stood nearby, checking the weapon's power. "The railgun is ready," she said. "All systems are stable." Rafi tightened his grip on the weapon controls. "Let them come. We are ready." The storm piercer moved into the storm zone. The iron clouds crackled around them. Lightning flashed, lighting up the dark space. The sensors shook with interference. Communication lines buzzed. The alien fleet was waiting. Suddenly, a shadow moved fast from the left. Fighter ships jumped out of the storm and closed on the storm piercer. Rafi raised the alarm. "Enemy fighters, incoming fast." The crew jumped to battle stations. Tomas took control of the ship. Neela adjusted the railgun's targeting. "Fire. The railgun only if needed," Tomas ordered. "We don't want to fight. Just a warning." The fighters fired lasers. Bright beams sliced the space near the ship. The storm piercer moved quickly, dodging the attack. Rafi targeted the closest fighter. "Railgun ready." He said. Tomas nodded. Rafi fired. The metal rod shot through the storm. It moved faster than light. The fighter exploded without time to react. Dust spread silently in space. More fighters attacked, but the railgun fired again. Each shot was perfect. The enemy ships were falling one by one. The alien fleet commander, Vexal, watched in shock. "They can hit through the storms," he said. "This is not normal." The remaining alien ships pulled back, but the railgun fired one last time. A long shot hit a cruiser near the edge of the storm. The cruiser's shield failed, and it broke apart. Vexal gave the order, "Retreat. Pull back to safe space." The fleet moved away quickly, inside the storm piercer. Tomas exhaled slowly. "They wanted to trap us, but we broke free." Neela smiled. "The railgun works better than ever." Rafi looked out the window. "The galaxy will think twice before trying that again." News of the battle spread quickly. Alien traders and ships whispered about Earth's power. The Galactic Union Council held emergency meetings. The image of the storm piercer firing through the red border storms became a symbol of strength. High Speaker Thune watched the reports. He spoke softly, Earth is no longer hiding. They are showing their teeth. Lyric. The Velari scientist came to his side. They do not want war, but they will fight if needed. Thune nodded slowly. We must find a way to live with them, or we will lose much more than a few ships. Back on the Storm Piercer, the crew prepared for the next mission. Tomas called his team together. We are not safe yet, he said. The Union knows we are strong. They will test us again. Neela checked the weapon. We must keep improving. Rafi smiled. Then let them come. We will be ready. They all knew this was only the start. Far away, the galaxy began to change its mind about Earth. Some races sent messages of peace, others sent spies. But all watched the blue planet with new respect. Earth had shattered the silence, the galaxy trembled, and the Storm Piercer waited for the next challenge. The Galactic Union's capital world was quiet under the twin moons. Inside the Grand Council Hall, tension filled the air like a storm before the rain. Leaders from many races sat in their places. Their faces showed worry and uncertainty. The council meeting was one of the most important in years. High Speaker Thune rose and spoke with his deep voice. Earth's power grows. They have shown their Railgun strength again at the Red Border. We must decide what to do next. Many voices rose in reply. Some called for war. Others asked for peace. The question was clear. Should the Union try to fight Earth or try to make friends? A green-skinned ambassador named Zola spoke first. If we attack Earth, we risk our whole fleet. Their weapon is unlike any we have seen. It can destroy ships before we can fight back. An elder from the Sarek race added, but if we do not act, Earth may become too strong. They may control this part of space and push others out. Thune listened carefully. He knew both sides were right. The Union was in a difficult place. Suddenly, a messenger arrived with a fresh report. High Speaker, Earth's patrols have increased near Mars. New ships have been launched. They do not hide anymore. The room fell silent. Thune looked out the window. The stars outside seemed colder. Sharper. We cannot afford mistakes, he said. We must try once more to reach out. A delegation. Peace talks, if they refuse. Then we prepare for war. The council agreed. On Earth, Captain Tomas received the news. The Galactic Union wanted peace talks. He sat with Neela and Rafi in the control room. This is an opportunity, Tomas said. We will show them we are not their enemy. But we will not bow. Neela nodded. The Railgun will remain ready. Rafi smiled. I will prepare the crew for anything. The Storm Piercer moved to the meeting point near the neutral space station called Paxis. It was a place where many races gathered to speak. The station was large and bright, full of ships from many worlds. Tomas and his crew waited in the quiet halls. Soon, the Union delegation arrived. The leader was High Speaker Thune himself. The two groups met in a large room with soft lights and calm air. Thune spoke first. Earth has surprised us all. Your power is great, but we seek peace, Tomas replied. Earth never wanted war. We build our strength to protect ourselves. We will not be controlled or threatened. Thune nodded. We understand. We want to learn. Let us find a way to live together. The talks were slow. Both sides were cautious. But they agreed on one thing. The Railgun would not be used in peace zones. The Union would respect Earth's borders, and Earth would open some systems for trade. Back on the Storm Piercer, the crew felt relief but stayed alert. Neela worked on upgrades. We must improve. The Railgun is strong, but we can make it better. Rafi trained new recruits. If peace breaks, we must be ready. Tomas looked out at the stars. The galaxy is watching us now. This is only the start. Meanwhile, rumors spread in the galaxy. Some races admired Earth's strength and silence. Others feared it. Traders whispered about human technology. Scientists tried to study the Railgun from afar, but no one knew all its secrets. The Galactic Union moved carefully. The peace talks were slow, but important. High Speaker Thune watched Earth closely. They are different, he said. We must learn from them or be left behind. One night, Tomas stood on the observation deck. The stars shone bright. Neela joined him. Do you think peace will last? Tomas smiled faintly. It must, but We will never forget why we built the Railgun. Rafi came and stood with them. We are ready for whatever comes. The three looked out at the silent stars. The galaxy was large and full of unknowns, but Earth was no longer silent. Earth had spoken with power, and the galaxy was listening. The galaxy held its breath. Years had passed since the Railgun first fired, since the Storm Piercer had shown its strength. Since Earth and the Galactic Union had begun talks, the peace was fragile. Both sides watched carefully, neither trusted fully. But both knew war would bring ruin on Earth. Captain Tomas stood on the command deck of the Storm Piercer. He looked at the stars beyond the thick glass. His crew moved quietly around him, ready for any order. Neela worked at the Railgun control panel. She was making new adjustments. The weapon was stronger now, faster, cleaner. Rafi trained the new crew members. In the halls below, they moved like one body, sharp and ready. Suddenly, an alert sounded. "Incoming transmission from the Galactic Union capital," said Neela. Tomas nodded. "Put it on screen." The image of High Speaker Thune appeared. His face was calm but serious. "Captain." "Tomas," Thune said, "the Union thanks Earth for its strength and honesty. We have seen your power. We have felt your will." Tomas replied, "We only want peace, High Speaker. But we will protect our home." Thune smiled faintly. "Then let us build a future together." Later, in the council chambers, leaders discussed the new plan. The Union would offer Earth a place in the council. Earth's voice would be heard. Earth's power respected. Many were surprised. Some were happy. Others still doubted. But Thune spoke with quiet confidence. The galaxy needs Earth. Together, we can face the darkness beyond. Together, we will grow stronger. On Earth, the people celebrated, not with loud noise or fireworks, but with quiet pride. Tomas, Neela, and Rafi met on the observation deck. "We changed the galaxy." Tomas said, "Not with war, but with strength." Neela smiled. "Our Railgun showed them who we are." Rafi looked at the stars. "And we are ready for what comes next." A new era began. Ships from many worlds came to Earth. They brought trade, ideas, and friendship. But they also came with caution. They knew Earth had teeth. The Railgun remained silent, ready, waiting. But Earth no longer needed to hide its power. In silence. Far beyond the stars, new threats waited. The galaxy was larger and darker than anyone knew. But Earth was no longer alone. The Storm Piercer sailed with new allies. The Railgun was a symbol, a warning, a promise that humanity would protect its home. And that the galaxy would never forget. End of story.